make of the India factor amid this meeting that the whole world was watching, the summit taking place in Alaska? Donald Trump, however, seems to have made a big remark on trade. When asked about possible secondary tariffs on India, Trump says that the decision could come in 2 weeks or 3 as far as on tariffs on India, where 50% of tariff that has now been slapped on India. Donald Trump seems to be giving out a big hint. Let's get in a word from Srinjoy now. Srinjoy, good morning. We've been speaking as far as the India factor here is concerned. India too has been watching the developments. Just before the meeting, President Zelensky had also dialed Prime Minister Modi. But right after this meeting, however, there is no ceasefire or pause in sight. What is the India factor here?
India has been very clear about this. Long ago, India made it clear to President Putin that the 21st century is not a time for war. Now, all this said, India has also said that it represents the South countries. And the South countries have also suffered because of the war. And fuel prices, fertilizer prices, and prices of food grains, importantly, are very high. Now, this 50% tariff comes as a sort of adjunct, as a result of the war. Because India is buying Russian crude, this 50% tariff comes up. Now, why is India buying Russian crude? Because the oil prices are so high because of the war. So if the war ended, there would be no need to buy Russian crude. And India would benefit enormously. That's what the other issue is about Russian crude, is that the Americans were very keen we continue to buy Russian crude. And the American argument was that if India bought Russian crude, the world prices of the per barrel crude oil prices would actually stay low. And the Americans believed or said to us that if Russia sells oil to India and India refines it and sells it to America, America will designate it as Indian petroleum. So now this 25% tariff is actually a surprise in some ways, because America knew exactly what India was doing. And if President Trump actually wants to do it, we don't know what he will do. At this point, he spoke about check out what happens 2 weeks later or 3 weeks later.
But Srinjoy, you know, if Donald Trump really wanted to put pressure on Russia via India, because he seems to be making another statement saying that Russia lost an oil client like India, which was doing